Hello, and welcome to the 13th video in this training season series, all about setting up a website. In this one, we're going to look at more plugins. Now, I've already done, and you've probably already seen the video of the how to install plugins. Now, this is called this sort of essential plugins, but it's also going to be the analytics plugins. So in the book, you've got essential, then analytics, and then optional. This is kind of the essential and analytics ones. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through them. Now, one thing I want to do, the first one I want to show you is Yoast. I'm going to try and do this quite quickly, so you can, of course, watch the video again and again if you need to. Now, Yoast is a great plugin for making sure your articles are looking good. Now, if you go into settings, what I would do is, I'm not going to do this today, just go through, I'll tell you what, I might do a video on configuring Yoast, but I'm going to do it separately, because otherwise this video is going to be too long. So I'll tell you what, I will do a configuring Yoast video, because also I need to set up some things, and there'll be lots of blurring. It's going to be a pain in the bum, really, but you know, I think it's useful, obviously. So what we're going to do is just going to leave it like that for the moment. You can either do the configuration in Wizard yourself, of course, or you can look at the video that I'm going to do. All right. So let's just go back to plugins. One thing I will show you is, actually, let's go to pages. Obviously, I don't have any posts. Let's look at the privacy policy that we set up ages ago. And if we scroll to the bottom, we will see. Hang on. Okay, that's not working. Let's do it this way around. Now look. Here is Yoast. So if I put in, I don't know, let's put in privacy policy. You have to put in a keyword, and then it'll basically tell you what's wrong. So the SEO analysis, this is the important bit. All right. So if we look at what's wrong with this, it tells us there's no outbound links, there's no internal links, the key phrase. So you've got to basically get all of these green. Okay, so follow the instructions of what the problem is. Now this is a privacy policy, so we don't care. All right, but there you are. That's how Yoast works. So you get all these green, or as many as possible as you can green. Try and get it so this is green. Okay, so not everything below needs to be green, but basically you don't want anything red. If anything's red here, then chances are it won't be green above. All right, and then readability, you can check out what the problem is. I mean, obviously there's a privacy policy is not meant to be readable. Well, I suppose it is meant to be readable, but it reads horribly. So obviously don't fix it. Don't try and fix it. In fact, don't do anything with the privacy policy. But when you're writing posts, that's when you do need to make sure you're using Yoast SEO well. Now, the next analytics, hang on, let me just go through my notes. So I seem to have the next one is Google Analytics. Now, Google. Oh, sorry. Sorry. We need to remember to press add new or it won't work. Google Analytics. And you want the one for WordPress by Monster Insights. It's the most popular. Now, while I'm here, check that whatever plugin you're using, check that it's compatible with your version of WordPress. If it isn't, the chances are they are untested with your version. The chances are that maybe these guys aren't serious about updating their plugins for each new version of WordPress. So always choose one that's compatible straight away. Now, this also requires a lot of setting up. Now, I'm not going to go into this much here, but it requires a Google Analytics account. It requires a lot of things. Now, so what I'm going to suggest is you just use the video to start with. Okay, make notes and see how it all works. Or you can just launch the wizard. Okay, there's a business website, publisher, so you decide what you're going to do, and like I said, just follow the instructions. Okay, so like I said, we're not going to do that now. I certainly might do a video of it as well. I think it would be useful. And look, there it says consider upgrading to Pro. That of course means that you're paying. You don't need to do that at the beginning, but of course if you become hugely successful, then you need to. Now look, if you haven't set up a plugin properly, normally it'll have this sort of comment above the plugins telling you haven't set it up properly. So if that's the case, obviously you then need to fix the problem. Now, the other one I might suggest, which is, you see, I'm not sure if I agree with, it's called Hummingbird, and it's a way of making your site faster. But if we look at, let's see how we're doing. Now, it's worth retesting your website especially when you're putting plugins in, to see if the plugin you've installed has dramatically affected your website. If it has, then you might want to consider using a different one. Now, the ones I use don't make a lot of difference, so that's why I use them. Let's see what. Okay, so look, here we are. See, we've actually got a bit faster. We're up to 1.3 now, so that's great. None of these plugins I'm installing make a big difference. If we install Hummingbird, you have to go through Hummingbird to use it properly. I kind of like it, but I'm not sure if it makes things better, the same, or actually it slows things down. What I will show you is, for a start, it takes a fair time to install, which is always, I feel, a bit suspicious. Now, we've activated it. Now, we haven't done anything. Let's just see if we do a retest again. Let's just see what happens with the site now. So it was 97, 96, 1.3 was the load time. So let's just see if it's made a big difference or if it's roughly the same. Oh, there you go. Actually, it's gone up. It's gone up 0.1 of a second. So this is why I'm a bit confused about Hummingbird. I mean, I do use it, but I'm always meh. Anyway, look, the thing to do is, there it is right down at the bottom. You've got all this stuff. Again, play around with it. If you're not sure, let me just show you one. So look, if we look at like asset optimization, advanced tools. Some of these you won't be able to do because they're only in Hummingbird Pro. Some of them, if you're not sure what you're doing, don't do it. Okay, that's my rule of thumb for Hummingbird, or read the instructions carefully. So it's not an easy plugin to use, like, you know, add expires headers plugin where it just does it for you kind of thing. All right, so we're just about 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop there. So now let's just scroll down a little bit. So there is, these are all the essential, in my opinion, these are all the essential plugins you need. Okay, so some of them require little to nothing in the way of work. Some of them require registration, like Akismet. Loginizer doesn't require anything. These two require work, and this does as well. So I'll try and do some videos for these because I think it would be fair, actually. But for the moment, install Yoast. You don't need to install these two if you don't want to. You could wait till I've done the video. Hopefully the video will be there anyway. You will watch the video and then make a decision. All right. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.